Yo, what's up guys? Sunhard here. I've got a fresh ROMEO4H out the mail, and I'm going to be using this to replace my old ROMEO5. The ROMEO5 is a great budget red dot. I highly recommend it, but I'm noticing some limitations when it comes to pairing it with the Juliet x4 magnifier. So let's take a quick peek at the gun. So right now, the ROMEO5 is on with the Juliet x4. I think the sizes are fine. Obviously, the Juliet x4 is a little bit more bulky, but it's still totally workable. And the high riser on the Juliet x4 is already compatible with the ROMEO5's high rise. So they just line up perfectly as is, which I was really grateful for. They're the same brand though, you know, so it's kind of expected. I'm hoping the same thing goes with the ROMEO4H. But anyway, so here's my issue that I've been noticing. So when I'm using the actual magnifier at the range, the brightness, generally speaking, needs to be bumped down on the ROMEO5 because it gets really splotchy. And the issue with that is when I'm not using it and I go back to using just the red dot, I have to end up bumping up the brightness to make it more visible to the naked eye. So I am not okay with that. I think it may be more of an indoor range issue. I don't recall it being an issue outdoors, but in any case, it's something that I've been noticing the more I shoot it. So I'm hoping that the ROMEO4H just solves that problem for me. Let's unbox this and get into the details. The ROMEO4 and 5 have a very large battery life, and that's one of my favorite things about this series of red dots. You really can't beat it. Like for example, everybody's hyped up about EOTechs, but the more I researched into them and realized how actually poor their battery life is, it's kind of disappointing. So I don't think I'd ever bother with an EOTech ever. Ooh, yes, needing one of those. I lost my old one for the ROMEO5, and this is perfect for zeroing. I've been having to use like keys and stuff, and I just hate it. But anyway, yeah, battery life is one of the biggest reasons that I stick with Romeo. Amazing battery life on these bad boys. Right. Looks like it's got the high rise already on. I love that. I recall the ROMEO5 having a high rise that came on as well. And that's great because the high rise system on these red dots is like my favorite thing. It's just high profile for life, you know? So they're about the same size. I think this one's a little longer, so I might have to bump back the magnifier, but that's okay. Yeah, this looks cool. It's about the same size, yeah. Rock on. I really do love the look of the ROMEO5. It's just such a unique look. They really nailed that. But I'm getting to the point now where I just need a more crisp red dot. And I think on the back of the box, I'll show you. The red dots are so gorgeous. They're so cool. They remind me of the EOTechs. They really do. And I love that. So let's take a peek here. Yeah, so there are 4 different types of red dots. This is the ROMEO5, just a singular red dot, a singular dot. They have a line of dots, and then they have a more EOTech style kind of dot for the other 2 options. So I'm super pumped for that. That's gonna be really cool, especially through a magnifier. And I'm just hoping they're crisp, you know? That's really what I need. I need something crisp. It's got 50,000 hour battery life, just like the ROMEO5. 12 illumination settings, 10 daytime and 2 night vision. That's cool. The ROMEO5 is also night vision compatible. Not that us pories can afford night vision, but you know, in case you ever, you know, find some. I don't know where you'd find some, you know, wink wink. What a cool piece of gear. I wasn't expecting it to look this cool in person. I really like it. Cool, I've got a very crisp and bright red dot right out the gate. I'm not seeing any straightforward ways on how you would change between reticles. So I'm gonna read the manual real quick. Cool, so a quick look in that and I figured out you literally just hold these two together, the brighter and darker. You hold them together at the same time and it changes between reticles. Ooh, nice. I want the EOTech style. Oh, that's so cool. Oh my God, that looks sick. Check this out, guys. Check this out. Gorgeous. That's gonna be the one I use most likely. That's sick. And then they have one that I might try at longer range. It's the same kind of circular reticle, but it's got dots that go on the bottom too. Neat. And this is the original. It's just the little dot. Easy money. Oh, yeah. Yeah, this feels very good. That is crisp, man. That is crisp as hell. Bro, look at this bad boy. That's freaking gorgeous. I love it. That's a freaking red dot right there. I feel like I'm rocking an EOTech that actually has a battery life. Nice. Looks good. Look at that. Ooh-wee. Thanks, son. Thanks, son. That's super crisp, guys. Nice. There it is in all its glory. Looks great together. I love it. All right, let's go to the range. This just in. ROMEO4H is amazing. Works very good with the Juliet 4 magnifier. Works very good alone. Huge improvement from the ROMEO 5.